Hey guys, what's going on? Steven back again, and I'm back with another 40k video from Major Kill. It's been a while since I've done a Major Kill video, so the topic for today's video is every time Chaos has respected the Imperium. Now, I don't know if that just means the Imperium overall, or every time they respected, like, the Emperor, or maybe, like, a certain battle, you know, like, 500 Space Marines had to defend this certain position and stuff like that, and Chaos just threw legion after legion of demons and Chaos Space Marines and cultists and whatever against this one area, and those 500 Space Marines held the line, defended that position, and won. You know, and Chaos was like, respect. We threw everything we had against them, and they held the line and defended that position. Respect. Or maybe against, or maybe for a named character, you know, insert random character, you know, went up against 2-3 bloodthirsters at a time and took them down, killed all 3 of them, you know, and then Chaos is like, damn. Respect, you know, damn, he took on 3 bloodthirsters all at the same time and won. Respect. You know, another thing I kind of hope he actually gets into in this video, I've heard the question asked maybe 2-3 times in a couple other videos, but it was kind of like some vague answers, is the Chaos Gods have to know about the Lost Primarchs, right? They have to. So why do they never say anything about them? You know, it just seems like that is just free, easy propaganda to use. You know, I mean, I don't know, something like if they're trying to sway more Primarchs, you know, to join Chaos, you know, they can be, well, nobody wants to be with your father. Come and join your brothers. Come and join Chaos with the rest of your brothers. You know, join us. In fact, there was a time before your brothers even joined us when 2 of your own brothers left your father and joined insert random alien race here, you know? Or, I don't know, like, your father's not even a good engineer. He didn't even create you Primarchs all that well. In fact, he screwed up twice, you know? And then he fully expunged their existence, you know, and then they could use that propaganda to, you know, everyone in the Imperium, you know, hey, you think the Emperor cares about you? Look what he did to his own sons that he screwed up creating. He expunged their existence. So what makes you think he cares about you? If he did that to his own sons, do you really think he gives a crap about you? That just seems like that's got propaganda just written all over it. I mean, yeah, sure, you know, guardsmen and everyone underneath, you know, is very easily swayed to Chaos as it is. But still, I mean, that's still some really good propaganda they could use. But they don't do it. Why? You know, it's just very interesting why they just never bring up the Lost Primarchs and just kind of use as propaganda. So I hope he covers that in this video here. You know, there must be a reason why they don't say anything about it. So who knows? Alright, so anyways, let's get on to the video and check out every time Chaos has respected the Imperium. Here we go.
G'day guys and gal, it's not the newsflash of the day that Chaos and the Imperium don't like each other. The Imperium hates Chaos because they caused it to implode into a massive civil war that took it from being on the cusp of an eternal golden age to a shitty miserable existence. Chaos hates the Imperium because it hates itself but doesn't have the self-reflection abilities needed to not just blame everyone else for its own problems.
Fair
However,
enough.
Chaos still has a lot of warriors, some even honourable on its side, some that recognise that despite the Imperium being their enemy, that doesn't have to mean that they despise them. With every 5 fibre of their being and wish to desecrate all their corpses. There have been moments in the lore when Chaos has even shown respect to the Emperor and his servants, which I'm keen to dive into for today's video. Before we get started, physical calendars are actually super handy to have. Whenever I'm getting overwhelmed by a busy month that has a lot of things going on from a lot of different sources, I can refocus and actually de-stress by writing it down and planning each day. I've been using my 2024 Major Kill Nude cosplay calendar a lot recently, and I'm definitely using my 2025 lore artwork calendar next year. With that said, yes, I am indeed selling a 2025 calendar. However, unlike last year, which had a lot of boobs and more so relied on your horniness to sell, this year I've had 12 amazing artworks commissioned, picking some of the best moments from Warhammer 40k's lore and using them as the image for each month. Get rid of those shitty stock art or grandma calendars. Get an insane Warhammer 40k lore calendar instead. With Christmas coming up, it would also make an incredible gift to any of your 40k mates, and as a special treat, if we sell more lore art calendars than we did the 2024 nude cosplay calendars, I'll release a high-budget nude sanguinis cosplay photo shoot that I've been sitting on for quite a while. So basically, you get rewarded with boobs for proving that you aren't just simping for boobs. Marketing, baby. Link to the calendars is below. Get the A4, A3, or the A3 Legendary.
He knows how to market.
Today we'll go over the times that a servant of Chaos has shown respect, even begrudgingly, to the Imperium, the Emperor, or a servant of the Imperium. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the Imperium just overall. Okay.
To start off this list of rare and occasionally wholesome Chaos to Imperial respect, I want to give a moment from the lore that really encapsulates what I'm talking about. In a modern setting, an Ultramarine captain, at least I think it was an Ultramarine, is making a last stand against the Death Guard force. His men are slain and he himself has reaped a mighty harvest of souls. The Death Guard commander approaches to slay the captain and is so impressed by his warrior spirit that even as he is fighting and beating the captain, the Death Guard says that he and his warriors will not be desecrated, nor their gene seed taken to make new Plague Marines. All of the fallen will be buried with full honours, befitting their status. The captain doesn't reply, he just fights with everything he has left before he is finally slain. The Death Guard commander making good on his promise and burying the fallen loyalists as respected foes. For those that don't know much about the Death Guard, sure, they look and smell like a bunch of rotten, fucked up pieces of shit, and yes, many of them are mean-spirited and evil, with some just being Nurglite zealots and all of them are weird. However, many of them have actually maintained most of their sanity and are actually pretty chill. After all, Nurgle is their patron god, and he is the biggest chiller of them all. So there is actually a lot of in-law moments of Death Guard or Plague Marines just hanging out with their dudes. There was a decent bit of respect floating around during the Horus Heresy between the two sides, since many of the traitor legions hadn't been corrupted yet, and were very much focused on their warrior spirits and whatnot. Many Marines knew each other and engaged in honourable duels mid-battle to the death. One example of this respect was between Argul Tal and Aquilon, the Custodian. Even when Argul secretly became a traitor, he respected the shit out of Aquilon and was upset that he would eventually have to turn on him. That fateful day did come, and it wasn't pretty, with Aquilon and his men slaughtering a shitload of wordbearers and their servants, including Argul's close friend Cyrene. In a rage, Argul hunted down Aquilon and they fought, spitting curses at each other, until Argul slew his old friend. He still felt shit about it though, so in honour of Aquilon, he took his weapons and modified them to suit his own needs. There were many other instances of traitors fearing and respecting the Custodes. Many of them hated them in a sort of begrudgingly jealous, respectful way, and many others were unsure about how they would fare against the Custodes as they were rarely seen fighting. When the wordbearers turned on one of their custodian overseers early on pre-heresy, even stabbing him and impaling him, they were shocked that not only was he still alive despite being impaled, but he also was not begging or pleading. Even as his life pumped out of him, he stared at them with hatred in his eyes.
Damn.
The Custodians also killed many traitor marines in the webway, and stories of their prowess have echoed through the ages, with many traitor
marines. And that's a really cool picture. Look at the claws just ripping into the shoulder pad. That's badass.
Use as much overkill as possible, and often it doesn't work. During the heresy, a lot of traitors talk shit about the Emperor. Death to the false Emperor, or fuck that golden man in his shiny toilet, were pretty common phrases. However, many others still showed him a lot of respect. Even though they were haters, they were still like, yeah, he could totally kick my ass. I'm only talking shit because I'm 50 light years away from him right now. It was kind of like when you were a kid and you would do the Bloody Mary thing in the dark and then talk shit about Bloody Mary, but then you would feel this wave of fear grip you as if a very spirit was angry, so you would apologize and ask her not to kill you.
My bad.
Sure that was just me.
I didn't mean it.
Did that, but yeah. The Emperor was kind of like that to the traitors. They all respected that he was insanely powerful, with a few even being, I don't hate the guy, I think he's pretty cool, but I'm just loyal to my Primarch, so Cowabunga it is. Speaking more about the heresy, since this is when we got the most juicy traitor on Imperium action, a lot of commanders on both sides respected each other, but mostly those from the traitor sides to the Imperial side. See, as the traitors were, traitors, the Imperial commanders lost most respect they used to have for them, but since the loyalists were loyal, they were a lot harder to hate on. So there was many times when a traitor Primarch where a traitor space marine captain was invading a system or taking on an enemy fleet, they were like, ah fuck, we're going up against Captain I Fuck Kids, a brutal and ruthless warlord that I once served with. This is going to be tough, guys. This man holds the world record for most amount of visits to Epstein's Island within the span of 3 months. Just shit like that. The best example of this is when Abaddon and Sigismund came face to face post-heresy. Sigismund was a legend, the greatest space marine warrior to ever live, having slain Khan.
So he must have had a lot of respect then.
Abaddon respected the shit out of him and tried to turn him to his cause.
Of course he did.
Sigismund didn't have a bar of it, and they fought. Abaddon remarked that even in Sigismund's old age, he hadn't become weak, he'd just gone from being so far above them that no one stood a chance, to now he was just one of the best in the galaxy. Sigismund actually technically won the duel, landing the fatal blow on Abaddon, but plot hammer Tiki, a massive sword through the chest, isn't apparently a death sentence for old Abaddon.
No, of course not.
To cut Sigismund in half. Even as he lay dying, Sigismund insulted Abaddon with his dying breath. Abaddon returned Sigismund's corpse, undefiled, to the Imperium as a sign of respect for the old warrior.
Wow.
Many traitor marines are salty about how things turned out.
Even from Abaddon, that's impressive.
The choice would have preferred the heresy to have never have happened. One example was Mercutian, a Night Lord who was a part of Talos' squad. When they were discussing the Great Crusade, Talos did the whole emo thing of, we were fighting for a lie, the heresy was justice, that kind of bullshit. Whereas Mercutian was like, well, I don't know man, the Great Crusade was a time of honor and glory, a united mankind dominating the galaxy. It was fucking awesome, I wish we kept doing that. Now Night Lords are less corrupt than most other traitors, however I can definitely imagine a number of uncorrupted Night Lords, Iron Warriors, Alpha Legionnaires, and maybe Thousand Sons who feel the same way. Life was way better before the heresy, and I can imagine many of them
I bet it was.
they took. This next one isn't exactly traitors showing respect to the Imperium, but I thought it was interesting regardless. An old Iron Warrior veteran who had been fighting the Long War for 10 millennia speaks with some new Chaos Marines, those that had been created well after the Horus Heresy, and he was shocked that they didn't really care too much about the Emperor or the Imperium and had no wish to throw away their lives in the Long War. They didn't hold any personal grudge against an Emperor they never knew, and much preferred raiding supply lines, fighting other Chaos warbands, uncovering
so he dropped knowledge on my bed.
Shit. This infuriated the Iron Warrior, but it also makes sense. Joining Chaos was marketed as a path to freedom from the Imperium's Iron Fist. Why would they throw away their immortal lives getting blown up by an Imperial Titan for a cause they didn't really give a shit about? So yeah, not really showing respect to the Imperium, but it's interesting to see that there is a slow but steady shift away from the Long War. Another example of this is a renegade Marine who joined the Death Guard and became a Plague Marine. His mutations aren't too bad at the moment, and he can still remove his helmet. He actually dreads becoming a full-on mutated Plague Marine. He didn't join the Death Guard out of some zealous desire to serve Nurgle or some bone to pick with the Imperium. He did it because he wanted more power and he wanted to dominate the galaxy. He was actually regretting choosing the Death Guard as he
seems like everybody's reason. Most everyone's reason.
War. So just another example of how newer Chaos Marines don't actually care much about the Imperium and just want to do their own thing. This next one is kind of interesting, but I would say it still counts. The Cornite demon Kabunda has an eternal blood oath against the Blood Angels. He was the first demon to ever fight and nearly slay Sanguinius, and was then subsequently beaten by the Angel in their next 2 fights. As such, he has a special grudge against the Blood Angels. When the Tyranids attempted to destroy Baal and kill all Blood Angels, Kabunda was like, only I can beat their ass.
And came and helped them.
On Baal so he could kill or corrupt the Angels before the Tyranids could eat them. However, Mephiston ensured Kabunda could not manifest close to the main Blood Angel force, so in frustration, Kabunda manifested elsewhere and killed a fuck ton of Tyranids, tipping the battle in the Blood Angels' favor.
I heard of that one. That's actually pretty badass.
A mountain of Tyranid skulls so big that it could be seen from space. And of course, the symbol the skulls made was his own. So I wouldn't say he likes or respects the Blood Angels, but there is something to be said
a lot of Tyranid skulls.
That anyone else killed them except themselves. Now for a bit of controversial lore. During the War of the Beast, an Imperial Fist successor chapter was fighting some Iron Warriors. However, an Orc army arrived, so the two agreed to team up against them. They triumphed. However, the Black Templars arrived and ordered the Imperial Fist to kill their Iron Warrior compatriots. They refused, hence fought their fellow Sons of Dawn before escaping with the Iron Warriors and becoming renegades. Obviously, you can see a lot of issues with this lore. However, it is a part of the lore, and the Iron Warriors distinctly respected these fists, even joining them and forming their own warband. Shit like this never happens anymore though, since it was pretty retarded. And finally, my favourite example goes against the fundamental laws of chaos. The fundamental law being that if you dabble in chaos, no matter how strong your will or how good your intentions,
it doesn't
will
matter.
Inevitably result in your corruption. It's been a massive theme and plot point in all of Warhammer, with even loyalist Primarchs needing to resist the temptation of using chaos artifacts. However, Inquisitor Eisenhorn didn't get the memo, as this motherfucker uses a demon host, chaos sorcery, chaos weapons, and chaos artifacts without issue. Dude drank
nothing wrong with that at all.
To corrupt you to chaos, and it just made him more overpowered and uncorrupted. As such, the servants of Chaos look at Eisenhorn with absolute fear and awe. They're constantly either trying to corrupt or kill him should him going against the rules. Anytime he comes face to face with one of his foes, they are like, dude, I respect the shit out of you, but now you need to die. And then Eisenhorn's like, no, you, and he kills him instead. It's absolutely hilarious at this point, and a great note to finish the video on. If you're
That's
enjoying the
pretty
video
cool.
and want to support the channel, then pick up a 2025 lore artwork calendar. There's no way you won't love it. We also have some more slots open for a pre-painted Major Mini, so check that out if you want a pre-painted Major Mini sent to your door. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Okay, so there we go. There is every time Chaos has respected the Imperium. So unfortunately, he didn't get into my question of, you know, why the Chaos Gods have not mentioned anything about the Lost Primarchs. So I don't know if there's like another or a different video, maybe not by Major Kill, but just another video by anyone that goes into detail about that. Because like I said, I'm very curious why even the Chaos Gods haven't said anything about them, because like I said, that's easy propaganda to use and stuff like that. So I don't know, but either way, it was still very interesting hearing about all the times and stuff like that, that every time Chaos has respected the Imperium, you know, with Abaddon and Sigismund, you know, returning his body uncorrupted, undefiled and stuff like that. That's pretty massive, you know, respect. But I mean, Sigismund was a beast and stuff like that, you know, he was a badass fighter, so, you know, hearing the name, hearing the reputation, and hearing the respect, you know. And then of course you got the other Plague Marines and stuff like that, you know, burying the Ultramarines with, you know, all their honors and respects and stuff like that. That's actually, you know, pretty impressive. You don't really think of, you know, Chaos Plague Marines like actually like taking time to like actually like bury just regular Ultramarines and stuff like that, and giving them the honors and respects that they deserve, which is, you know, because you just look at them and it's like, you really think they give a shit about, you know, burying bodies and stuff like that? Like, no, not really. But the fact that these ones here did, that's pretty impressive, you know. A lot of these are actually very impressive. The Kabanda one was pretty cool as well, you know. No one kills the Blood Angels but me, you know, and the Tyranids are trying to do it, and, you know, he just appears and jumps in and just starts battling and stuff like that. Because what was it, the mountain of Tyranid skulls was so high it was seen from space.
Before building a mountain of Tyranid skulls so big that it could be seen from space.
That's insane. That is insane. Coin must have been very happy though, you know. Hey, look at that! There's a tower of skulls. Oh, so proud. You know, but that's still pretty badass. I mean, it wasn't even, you know, not really much of a respect. It was just like, it's either I'm killing them or no one is killing them type of thing. So that's really not, you know, not much of respect. But, you know, it's kind of there, you know. And then, of course, the last ones, you know, they teamed up with the Eye Warriors and stuff like that to fight off against the bigger threat. And then, of course, Black Templars came and, you know, hey, take them out. I mean, I don't know. It is hard. It's like, how do you just turn your back on, even it being chaos, it's still like, how do you just turn your back on someone you just fought side by side with against a greater threat, you know? I mean, that was just very difficult, you know. Just imagine, you know, you're originally fighting them, and then all of a sudden this bigger force comes in, so now, you know, you're both on the same side, and you're firing against a bigger threat, and then that battle's over, and then what do? Just change magazines and just turn to the side and just gun them all down? It's just like, that just seems like, you know, I mean, I get it, you know, yes, you're loyalist, yes, they're traitor, you know, but still, like, I don't know. You know, I get both sides. You know, I understand both sides. You know, Black Templars coming in and be like, hey, traitors, kill them. And then I see their sides of like, well, we just fought, you know, against an entire invasion together. You know, it just seems like a shit thing to do. It just immediately turn to your side and just gun down the people you're just fighting alongside with, you know. So I get it. But either way, that was still really cool. And it's very interesting to see Chaos respecting the Imperium and the Emperor and certain individual characters like Sigismund and stuff like that. So yeah, that's very cool. And of course, you know, some Space Marines just joining Chaos just because they have their own agenda. You know, they just want to do their own thing. You know, well, if you're kind of in Chaos, you kind of can do that, as compared to the Imperium, where you kind of can't. You know, oh, if I had my own unit, I'd go off and do this. Well, no, that's not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. But I mean, Chaos, they'd be like, oh, okay, take them, go have fun. You know, go kill them. You know, so I mean, I get it. But other than that, this was a really cool video seeing Chaos respect the Imperium. I wonder if there's any other videos of, you know, like every time the Imperium has, I don't know, respected Xenos or something like that, you know, because I'm sure there have been times when the Imperium has teamed up with a Xenos race to take out a bigger threat. You know, so it'd be cool. I might have to search around, see if there's any videos, if he has any videos on that, or if anyone has any videos on that, because that'd be a pretty interesting topic. But yeah, so there we go. There's the video. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about every time Chaos has respected the Imperium? Are you kind of surprised by some of the moments and stuff like that, or, you know, do you kind of expect them? But yeah, you know, leave me all your thoughts and comments. And other than that, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. That'd be awesome. Remember, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media. Links in the description box below. And yeah, if you guys got any other videos you guys want me to check out, leave a link down below, and I'd be happy to do a video on them, especially if you got any videos talking about why, like I said, Chaos doesn't mention the Lost Primarchs at all. I'd love to find out why they don't. You know, because like I said, propaganda, easily. So, yeah, just let me know. So, other than that, just stick around. More videos are on the way, and I will see you guys next time.